And these are the same people that will say, well, we'll hold our nose and we'll vote for this person this time and we'll just get them next time. But we've been saying that for decades. And we're way worse off. I mean, when we look at what's going on today, we've got all this crap happening in our public schools. We've got the sexualization of our kids. We've got this whole gender identity thing, and I don't even know how many genders there are anymore. There's literally an assault. The race. Just recently, I've been seeing angry black people beating up on people for being white in the middle of public, and nobody's doing anything about it. They're just pulling out their phones and they're just recording, and it's getting posted on Twitter. But literally there's a bunch of hate and people are out there hurting. You got people that can't even pay their bills. You got people that can't put gas in their vehicles. What we're spending on groceries today is way more than it was and what we were spending a year ago. And you don't think it's a whole lot until you start realizing that all of these things are adding up, and then your property value goes up, and then your taxes go up, and it's like, before you know it, you can't live on what you were earning before. So the cost of living is going up, but your paycheck's staying the same. And that's on top of all of the other stuff that's going on in our culture. We've got churches that won't stand up and do the right thing. They won't talk about what's going on in the culture. They choose to focus internally on our problems, and they don't actually disciple people. And then you've got billions or trillions of dollars that is being sent overseas, that is not going back into the general welfare, so to speak, of the American public. We've got shortages out the yin yang, and not to mention the energy crisis. And so in all reality, there's no real energy crisis except for the one that's currently being fabricated, because of this whole climate change ordeal. And so, we're doing it to ourselves. And then let's not talk about the invasion that's happening along the southern border. We've got a governor right now that won't do the right thing. He'll virtue signal and he'll send illegals further into the country. Where, by the way, they can actually vote illegally much easier. We're dealing with all this stuff. And 20 years ago, this is 2022. 20 years ago was 2002. Okay, so we were just maybe a year or a few months after 9/11. 20 years ago was probably one of the most patriotic times. Everybody was coming together. Heck, just a few years earlier, the worst thing was, hey, who was under Bill Clinton's desk? Right, that was the scandal of the day.
Oh, but did we come together?
Man,
we came together to sell our country away by believing that because of 9/11 we should give up all our rights to the Patriot Act. So,
but I'm
20 years ago
talking.
We created this problem.
Yeah, but I'm actually just talking in the culture, right? Interpersonally.
Oh, I agree, but that's the point. They abused our culture in the 9/11 spirit of, hey, we're going to be Americans and we're going to help each other, to say, well, we got to protect each other and sell our rights down the drain because some politicians said it's good for us.
And that's where we went wrong. Is that it's not that we protect ourselves, we take care of each other. It's not up to the government to take care of us.
That is correct.
And that's the problem. And so, anyways, man, we've got so many problems today, and I ranted so much that I don't even remember what my original point was. Do you?
Well, we're talking speakers, so it's funny though. You're talking about all the problems we're having, right? And you're mentioning it, and what is Kevin McCarthy running for? What, the third highest position in the government? And what was on his jacket? Did you see?
No,
did you see what he had right here?
Yeah,
I believe that was our capital running for the third position in our country, wearing a Ukraine flag. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
You should not be wearing another country's flag on your suit while you are running to be the third most powerful position in the United States of America. Get the hell out of here. Let's not talk
about, and we haven't even mentioned his ties to the World Economic Forum. We haven't even mentioned the fact that he votes with Democrats 50% of the time. Like, this is the person that we want being Speaker of the House. It's supposed to be the Republican of all Republicans. And the problem that we're dealing with here today, I believe, man, is that I run as a Republican because you have to, right? I am a conservative Republican, but in 2022, the Republican and Democrat Party, the Democrat Party didn't used to be so far left either. But now what we have is we have a Democrat Party and a Republican Party that have moved so far to the left that the Constitution is now seen as a far right ideological document.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, people are freaking out over the fact that we've gone, 2 days now of voting for the speaker. There was one time back, I forget the days, 1800s, when it went 100 days. Yeah. And I'm supposed to feel bad because, the government won't operate. Good. All they do is suck our money dry anyway and send it overseas. They're not protecting our border. In fact, they're telling Arizona to pick up their borders wall that they made out of shipping containers. Why would I want the government to work anyway? All they do is destroy us. So good. My feelings aren't hurt. So, some poor Washington, D.C. political staffers that went to college to do nothing but take our tax dollars, can't get paid. You know how many people aren't getting paid right now because there's not enough business? You know how many people are at home suffering right now because they can't afford things like you said? Like in the state of Texas, how much cost of living has gone up? You can't compete with the cost of living as a business owner because no one else is willing to pay for it because they're not making the money because they've spent everything on the housing. Yep. And their groceries. They don't have time to buy anything else. So when you inflate your price, like I've had to do as a business owner, they think you're crazy. And it's like, your house went up $200,000 in the last year. All I did was ask for another $150,000. Well, why am I crazy? Like, that's a minor increase. But that thing is that we've driven the economy into the ground, and you've got a Speaker of the House that's up there, a guy, Kevin McCarthy, trying to run for Speaker when he was actively working against MAGA candidates. He was actively working against America First candidates all over the country. He did it in South Texas. I mean, I saw it firsthand. It's like what principle? The Constitution doesn't tell us we have to elect somebody. It says you have to elect somebody that is chosen and everybody agrees upon. So those 20 are doing their job of saying we don't agree.
That's right.
Convince them.
And Dan Crenshaw and people like Dan Crenshaw and August Pfluger, they're all McCarthy candidates.